America, land of the free, home of the brave, a nation built on the dreams and aspirations of those who sought a better life. From the earliest settlers to the waves of immigrants who arrived at Ellis Island, the United States has long been a beacon of hope and opportunity, but today that image is being challenged, and now apparently a battleground for the souls of over 500,000 migrants. These individuals, who have risked everything to come to America, now find themselves in a state of limbo. Their dreams of a better future are hanging by a thread. On March 25, 2025, the Trump administration dropped a bombshell. In a move that has sent shockwaves through communities across the nation, they announced a significant policy change. They announced the end of the CHNV program. This program, which had been a lifeline for many, is now being dismantled. This program had granted temporary legal status to migrants mainly from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. For many, it was a chance to escape violence, poverty, and political instability. Over 530,000 people are affected. These are not just numbers, these are lives, families, and futures that are now in jeopardy. The decision has ignited a firestorm of controversy. Families are terrified, lawyers are scrambling, communities are rallying together, trying to find a way to support those who are most vulnerable. And America is more divided than ever. The debate over immigration has always been a contentious one, but this latest move has deepened the rift. On one side, there are those who believe that the country must protect its borders and prioritize its citizens. On the other, there are those who argue that America has a moral obligation to help those in need, to offer refuge to the oppressed. The question remains, what kind of nation does America want to be? As the debate rages on, the lives of over 500,000 people hang in the balance, waiting for a resolution that may never come. The CHNV program was launched in 2022. It was designed as a lifeline, a way to manage the growing influx of migrants at the southern border. The program allowed individuals and families to enter the U.S. legally. They needed an American sponsor and could stay for 2 years under a temporary status called parole. The goal? To provide a safe haven while offering a path to legal residency. The reality? A lot more complicated. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has been highly critical of CHNV. First, they argue that it hasn't effectively managed illegal immigration. Second, they say it's put a strain on American workers, forcing them to compete for jobs. Third, they believe it's led to increased crime and chaos. Their solution? Scrap the program and send everyone back. Termination of work permits and deportation protections is set to begin on April 24, 2025. That's just 30 days after the announcement. Migrants are being told to self-deport. They're encouraged to use the CBP Home smartphone app. But for many, this feels like a cruel joke. They've built lives here, they have jobs, homes, and families. Now they face the agonizing prospect of being ripped away from it all. DHS has hinted that some CHNV beneficiaries might be able to stay. The magic words? Case-by-case basis. What does that actually mean? No one seems to know. It's a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape. But for many, it's not enough to quell the fear and uncertainty that's gripped their lives. CHNV program isn't the only one on the chopping block. The Trump administration has been relentless in its efforts to reshape the landscape of immigration in the United States. From the very beginning, the administration has targeted various programs that provide relief and protection to vulnerable populations. One such program that has come under fire is the Temporary Protected Status, commonly known as TPS. Trump has also set his sights on Temporary Protected Status, or TPS. This program, established by Congress through the Immigration Act of 1990, allows individuals from countries experiencing armed conflict, environmental disaster, or other extraordinary conditions to live and work in the United States temporarily. It has been a lifeline for many who have nowhere else to turn. This program has provided a safety net for hundreds of thousands of people fleeing conflict or natural disasters. For many, TPS is not just a temporary reprieve, it is a chance to rebuild their lives in safety. Families who have lost everything due to war, hurricanes, earthquakes, and other calamities have found solace and hope through this program. In August 2025, TPS for 500,000 Haitians was revoked. This decision sent shockwaves through the Haitian community, both in the United States and abroad. Many had been living in the U.S. for years, building lives, contributing to their communities, and raising families. The revocation of TPS meant that they were suddenly faced with the threat of deportation to a country still grappling with the aftermath of natural disasters and political instability. And now, Venezuelans are facing the same fate. The political and economic crisis in Venezuela has forced millions to flee their homeland in search of safety and stability. For those who sought refuge in the United States under TPS, the recent policy changes have brought uncertainty and fear. The possibility of being sent back to a country in turmoil is a daunting prospect for many. The message is clear. If you're seeking refuge in Trump's America, don't get your hopes up. The administration's stance on immigration has been one of exclusion and restriction. For those who have found safety and a new beginning through programs like TPS, the future is now uncertain. The broader implications of these policy changes are profound, affecting not just the individuals directly impacted, but also the communities they are part of. As the debate over immigration continues, the human cost of these decisions cannot be ignored. Section 7. Outrage and applause. The nation reacts. The reaction to Trump's decision has been swift and divided. Across the country, people are taking to the streets, voicing their opinions loudly and passionately. The nation is witnessing a surge of activism, with both sides of the debate making their voices heard. Human rights groups are outraged. They argue that the decision undermines the fundamental principles of justice and humanity. These groups have organized numerous protests, rallies, and meetings to strategize their next steps. They believe that the move is not only inhumane, but also sets a dangerous precedent for future policies. They're calling the move reckless, cruel, and counterproductive. Activists are emphasizing the human cost of such policies, sharing stories of families torn apart and communities living in fear. They argue that the decision will only lead to more suffering and instability. Lawyers are gearing up for a fight, filing lawsuits challenging the legality of the revocation. Legal experts are scrutinizing the decision, looking for any constitutional violations or breaches of international law. Courtrooms across the country are preparing for a series of high-stakes battles that could shape the future of immigration policy in the United States. Meanwhile, some South Florida Latinos are applauding the decision. They feel that the move will help address some of the challenges their communities face. For them, the decision represents a step towards regaining control over local resources and opportunities. They argue that the influx of migrants has strained resources and driven down wages. Community leaders are voicing concerns about the impact on public services, schools, and healthcare systems. They believe that by controlling immigration, they can better manage these resources and improve the quality of life for current residents. It's a stark reminder of the deep divisions that define America today. The country is grappling with complex issues that touch on identity, economics, and human rights. As the debate rages on, it becomes clear that finding common ground will be a challenging but necessary task for the nation's future. Section 8. Echoes of 2016, Trump's America, First Agenda. This latest policy shift feels eerily familiar. It harkens back to the rhetoric of the 2016 election. Build the wall, make America great again. Trump is back in campaign mode. He's appealing to his base, stoking fears about immigration, and painting himself as the protector of American values. But at what cost? Section 9. Uncertain Futures, the Human Cost of Policy. The future for these 530,000 migrants hangs in the balance. Many are left wondering what will happen to them. Where will they go? What will become of their families, their dreams? These aren't just statistics, they're human beings with hopes, fears, and aspirations. And their fate now rests in the hands of a deeply divided nation.